4, 3, 2. Oh no, damn it, we're on already. All right, Magnus,
We're on.
buddy. How's it going? Wellness week, Wellness Wednesdays. How are you, Magnus?
I'm good. I'm really, really good. Hey, I just talked about it off air. A couple of my friend from Sweden is here,
Yeah.
and his son, and yeah, so we're having a blast, combining work and play. So it's all good.
Enjoy it, dude. And I'm back in my studio, so I can tell you, like and subscribe, people. Come on, I tell you, we are closing in on 1 million subscribers. We just need 900,000. Yeah. Anyways, but we're doing good. All right. So, so today's topics are. By the way, I just killed like this whole. I shouldn't say kill. I moved them. I didn't kill them because I'm a fan of spiders, but there was like a ton of spiders in my basement. I didn't realize this, like little ones, and they made a huge web. And I typically like spiders because they kill other bugs. But anyways, so I was like, man. So I walked through this web. I'm still itching. I'm like, damn it, I think I got all the spiders out of my hair. So I got like a stick and I rounded them up like cotton candy. And then I gently walked them out of my house because they don't pay rent. And then I let them gently on the ground. So hopefully they go find a nest somewhere outside. But anyway, so.
Can I join in on the insect? So all of a sudden, we started to have payment ads. They're like the small black ones that are all over the place. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not harmful in any way.
I can tell you how to get rid of them, by the way.
Yeah, either me or my dogs. But I've been using white vinegar and kind of spraying it. It's been working.
I'm gonna give you the tip.
Okay, let me hear it.
You're a rookie, bro. Right there. I used to use white vinegar too. And I had the same ants. They call them sweet ants or sugar ants, and they are harmless. They're not cockroaches. They're not termites. They can't, hurt your structure. They're just annoying. So I did that first. I did the vinegar, and the vinegar is a repellent. Okay, here's the problem.
They come back because the vinegar disappears.
Well, no, you're repelling the ants, but they're going into your wall. They're not leaving, and you're not killing them. So what you need to do is you go on YouTube. This is where I found this. You have to get boric acid, right? Which is like almost looks like sugar.
Yep.
You get some water and you get some sugar, and it's like 3 parts sugar, 1 part borax. You mix it in some a little water, and then you get some tinfoil. You lay it on the ground. These dumb ants.
Balls.
What's that?
You can use cotton balls too.
Oh, soak it in the cotton balls. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So they'll come, you'll see these dumb ants, they'll gorge themselves and they'll bring it back to the nest, and you see it. It's like a whole line of ants. Let them be. Don't kill them. Let them go into the wall, and then boom, done. And within like a day or two, you ain't going to see them again.
Within 3 days, they're gone.
Right. And if you see them again, just put some more out. Eventually, you're going to kill them. Because they're going to bring back this crap to their nest, and they're going to kill the queen and the whole 9 yards. So, anyways, because I was doing the vinegar initially. I was like, yeah, man. But you know what? They move from here, they go to there. So I'm like, I got to stomp them out. How do I kill them? So that was it. Anyway.
No, I of course, I'm a
you're a chemist.
Like research and nerd guy. So, of course, I already looked into it. But, I like it was just that I had white vinegar at home, but I'm definitely going to go get some.
Oh, dude, it works like a gem. Like a gem. You don't even need a lot, right? Like even 4 or 5 parts sugar to 1 part, whatever. Yeah. And these dumb bastards, you'll kill them. All right. So anyways, moving on. Okay. So, we're going to talk about vitamin drips, IV vitamin drips to the viewers. That's big nowadays. They got storefronts with it. I don't know about you, but here in Jersey, you walk into like a cafe kind of setting. I'm not even kidding. And they hook you up.
No, of course. Anything to get people to spend their money, hard-earned money,
vitamin drip.
They're going to be healthy.
So vitamin drip, colonics, if you don't know what that is, folks, it sounds like what it is. It's a colonics. They stuck a hose up in there and, wash the Hershey Highway. So you got vitamin drips, colonics, and cleanses where, you drink whatever, celery juice for 10 days and and that's the cleanse. So vitamin drips, colonics, cleanses, and pot dispensaries are opening up everywhere. So those are the 4 topics, and we're going to get into it. And by the way, we're not giving any medical
advice here.
Just check with your doctors and your attorneys, and we're just 2 friends talking. Okay. So, oh, man, look, I mean, you're a biochem PhD. I'm a DJ, but I thought initially before I went into researching this, I was like, I don't know. It sounds like it's a good idea to me, dude. Like, drink celery juice to cleanse the inside, or get a colonic if you want. I don't know. Vitamin drip seems kind of cool. And then I did research. So I went to the Harvard website, Harvard school. Harvard. Hold on.
Harvard School of Medicine.
Well, yeah. So what I did, I just want to cite this correctly because people are going to start hating on us now. Oh, dude, it works for me. You know what? It's not my opinion. I went onto the websites, okay, and yes, it's the Harvard edu, okay, and then I went on to the Mayo Clinic. These are heavy hitting medical, journals and medical hospitals and the best of the best in the world. Then I went on to Mayo Clinic, and I also went on to Houston Methodist healthcare system. So, and they all talked about this, one of the other, either the vitamin drips, colonics, and cleanses. In short, they don't work, and that's if you're lucky, because they can be very harmful too. So we'll start off with the vitamin drip. The vitamin drip, they reserve their worst critique for the cleanse and especially the colonic. But the vitamin drip, it seemed like again, check with your healthcare professional, but they didn't say it was bad. It was more just useless because, as you know, Magnus, you're in the sciences. Your body can only absorb so much vitamins, and the rest it pisses out. So you putting it into your veins. Listen, buddy, just eat right and if you want to take a multi. But yeah, there's no scientific evidence that a vitamin drip works. There's no scientific literature. There's at best maybe innuendo, but there's nothing, no hardcore science from Harvard or Mayo Clinic or Houston Methodist medical, nothing I could find out there from reputable sources. Not, hey, I'm a guy, good, not that person. An actual PhD, a medical doctor. Vitamin drips, you're just wasting your money. And I guess that's not a bad thing because I didn't find any evidence that said it hurts you, but definitely nothing that it helped you. Again, from hardcore scientists, not you girl down the block who swears by it. Magnus, what say you? And you have the background on the vitamin drip too.
So here's the deal. Like, first of all, like, what is your proof that you need it if you're gonna go get it?
Here's what I'm gonna say. I feel sick. I don't feel good.
Oh, okay, perfect. But what is actually what is the data that tells you to go get it?
All I know, Magnus, is I feel amazing after I take it.
Okay, awesome. There's something called placebo, right? And this is something that is very, very important if you're doing any scientific studies that have any human beings involved in it, is that you have to have a placebo or a placebo control. Right. And this is pretty much placebo. The problem is, like, people go and get, it's the same thing. They go to the doctor and say, I need this medical drug. I need this pharmaceutical, whatever it is, because they've seen a commercial on TV or whatnot. There's really no proof of you of actually having it. So what I'm saying with this is, like, have you gone and done maybe blood works? Are you deficient in something, for instance? Then it might have a little bit of benefits, but it's the same with a lot of the so-called hype things that is popular at the moment, like flavor of the month. You hear that some Hollywood or some other Instagram
Right.
famous person is saying that, it changed my whole life and things like that.
And awesome. These are people that barely have high school diplomas, much less a PhD in any kind of science. But they're the experts now. Right.
And usually they're trying to sell you their product too, right?
Right.
So it's about making money.
Right.
They're saying all sorts of things. It's like, well, I mean, you have a lot of Hollywood celebrities that have the following and can actually help people. They come up with the most bizarre things in the world to do. Like, what have we had? We have had the cotton diet, when you're actually eating cotton balls dipped in water and whatever, But this is pretty much the same thing. Of course, sometimes it might be actually you can use it, but you need to know exactly what you're putting yourself into if you're deficient in something.
Right.
But again, this is basically a Band-Aid. What are you doing to take care of the source of the problem?
Right.
If you're deficient in, for instance, magnesium or a vitamin B or something like that, first of all, you need to kind of look at your nutrition, start eating better food, for instance.
Right.
Then you might go in and take a specific supplement to take care of this.
Right.
But this is a little bit like it's hype, it's shotgun. It's a little bit cooler to actually take a drip than taking a supplement.
Well, I think visually they see that. It's like, oh, I'm putting an IV in. Oh my God, it must be better because I'm.
Yeah, but what is IV usually like used for? It's when you're doing surgery, right? It's easier to get a medicine into your blood flow quickly. You're actually getting hydrated through it.
Saline, right?
Yeah, saline solution and things like that. It's also the same thing when, like, if you're looking at sports or anything like that, they go in and have an IV because they're actually dehydrated.
Well, now, by the way, I'm going to stop you there, right? So
Yeah.
you're 100% right. And I think this is where the American, oh my God, us Americans, exactly. They'll be like, well, I was watching the NFL and I saw that they, or whatever, some sporting thing or even military, they put an IV in when they're out there on the field, and so it must be good for me. First off, you're not a professional athlete. You're not even using that many calories or even burning anything like that. Okay, so that's the other thing. People, you got people that are. It's the same people who take all these.
Remember, like what? Anthony, this is pretty much very similar to sports drinks. Like we started out with Gatorade was one of the first, right? Then it fully exploded of all sorts of different kinds, flavors. You have sugar, non-sugar, low sodium, high sodium. I mean, there's so many different things nowadays, and now they have it with protein in it and so on and so forth. The thing is, these are made, again, this is something that is made for someone that is like basically doing sports for a living, or like they're doing maybe a marathon or things like that.
And I can tell you, I've done marathons and I'm in cycling competitions where I've cycled 120 miles in one shot one day, no stopping, no pee-pee. But I mean, yeah, I had to be on more than just water because I was just. Right. So I can tell you firsthand, you're an athlete in the military, but yeah, most people, they don't, they go to the gym for an hour. They think they need an IV, like cut it out, dude, or whatever, even anyways, but
it's basically, again, most of it is you're paying for expensive pee.
Right. So
it goes straight through, you pee it out. It has nothing. It's basically placebo. It might be that you get hydrated a little bit. You might get a little bit of like a tiny boost you feel, but I would say it's mostly placebo.
Right. And for people who don't know what placebo is, placebo means that, again, you have the actual entity, the actual product, which would be the vitamin, and then you have just water or quote unquote sugar, water, whatever, but you don't tell the patient and you see what their reactions are. You measure their blood. So that's what placebo means, that you have one is the actual, ingredient or substance. And the other one
placebo is basically the power of the mind.
Right. It's called the placebo effect. Right. Yeah. But if you can,
we think ourselves to be whatever we want to accomplish.
But if something is working and it can get over the placebo effect, that's how you know a medicine is valid or whatever. So, but yeah, so when people say, well, I know I just feel better. Well, that's not a scientific fact. That's you just feeling. Your feelings don't matter. You would have to get blood work done, like you said. And they're not doing that. They're not getting pre and post blood work done. And so it's just, you don't even know.
It's the same thing. You have the t-shirt science, and then you have the science over your whatever your feelings, and this is basically what it comes down to.
Right. Okay.
Again, I'm not saying it the placebo effect might be phenomenal. So you're actually, you are getting healthier.
You feel.
Yeah. Keep on wasting your money on it. And if you're feeling better, that's perfectly fine. But have an understanding that there's basically no scientific proof that it actually helps.
And people don't hate on me. I'm not making this up. This is from articles from Harvard, articles from, again, Mayo Clinic, Houston Methodist. I mean, these are big, foundations and entities. So it's not just me. You go look up for yourself. Okay. There's no conclusive scientific evidence, but again, you do you, folks. I'm not hating on you. Want to get vitamin drip, knock yourself out. Awesome. Anyways. Okay. So let's move on to,
I'd rather have you guys pay me money and I can sweet talk you instead. I mean, that would be a better way of putting your hard-earned money into something.
There you go. Now, okay, what about colonic? Now you hear people, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my, the Hershey Highway cleared out, and it gets all the toxins out and all the poop out. Okay, this is almost laughable, because actually this is one of the things that some of the medical journals were saying, some of the doctors were saying, that it can hurt you. So unlike the vitamin drip, that's probably, at worst it's benign, getting the colonic can sometimes possibly be very detrimental, because your body, you're washing out, you're colonicking, you're stripping all of the good bacteria and immune system out of your colon. And so we all need to have that in our body. Your body has its natural thing called it poops. That's it. So the colonic,
that's detoxification. Like actually going in number 2, it's one of the best ways of detoxifying yourself. Right. It's the same thing. Like, our bodies have a system for detoxification, and this is something that is quite disturbing. It's like people rather go and do all these weird things instead of actually making your body better at
eating
detoxifying itself.
Fiber, water, you're gonna poop. By the way, one of the articles said, you just touched on it, Magnus, that your body, God makes an amazing machine because it already has its internal colonic, and that is your liver, your spleen, your kidneys, your small intestine, your large intestine, your colon, your skin, right? Your body already your body already detox and has its own colonic. It doesn't need, because you're putting that high pressure or that's water or whatever the heck it is up there. You are stripping your immune system. You're hurting yourself. That you might feel better. But there's no proof, no scientific proof that a colonic is beneficial. If anything, it might be hurtful. Again, not my opinion. Go look it up yourself.
The thing is also, like, you're invading something, right? You might get cuts. You also with high pressure, like with the liquids and stuff like that. So again, like you are taking a risk by doing these things.
Right. I mean,
again,
right.
I'm not saying this, but again, it's like this is a Band-Aid. You are not taking care of actually the course of the problems. Like we're seeing when someone is constipated, when seeing, like, if people have diarrhea, things like that, there's something wrong. Your body's telling that there's something wrong and you need to fix it.
You can colonic all day. You're not going to fix that problem.
Yeah, and again, it's like, what is usually the problem? Okay, you're eating too much processed food. You're not eating enough vegetables. You're not drinking enough water. You're not getting enough fibers. Again, like, why aren't you taking care of that first instead of trying to Band-Aid you're basically, sorry for that I'm saying this, you're basically Band-Aiding your shitty lifestyle and trying to say, oh, I'm gonna get healthier. You're not getting healthier. You're basically kidding yourself.
Well,
and again, you're wasting money.
It's the same thing with 100%. I agree with you. It's the same thing. It's like, well, wear your mask, get a colonic, but nobody wants to change their actual lifestyle. So, it's like, you're worried about COVID, but bro, you're still eating crap and drinking alcohol and smoking. And it's like, it's almost like the same thing with a colonic. It's like, yeah, but you don't want to change your lifestyle. You just want to get a colonic. Like, you're always going to have the same problem though. The colonic, matter of fact, it's not even a Band-Aid. Colonic is actually not good for you. Again, believe me,
but it's the same thing. It comes down to a lot of things, like changing your lifestyle, like nutrition, like sleep, things like that. That's have a way better and higher impact on your health than taking colonics, doing IVs, things like that. The thing is, what I find is so interesting. You mentioned this, that everybody's looking, what are the pro athletes or what are the special forces or high performers doing in it? Well, they're taking care of like they've been doing this for years, and they're like the tip of the iceberg. Like, we're talking about, like, you need the percent of the percent, and like us as normal human beings, it's like, well, you should probably focus more again on your basics,
right?
Like always master and major in the basics before you're trying to do like the little tip of the iceberg, which is, it's usually expensive,
right?
And
yeah, good.
And I mean, it's the same thing. People kind of do it because they want to they want to show off, basically. They say, oh, I'm doing the same thing that the pro athletes are doing. Well, you're not doing the same feat that the pro athletes are doing. First of all, they're making millions of dollars of being high performers. So, I mean, yeah, of course, they're high performers that make millions of dollars, but not with their body usually.
Right. Well,
what I'm saying is like, you are not in the same sphere.
Right.
Like it's not comparable, and you don't need it. You should probably like eat better instead.
Right. Well, that's it. If they want to copy the high performance athletes, they're right. Copy them. Copy their diets. They're eating premium food. They're not living on crap and cake and cookies and soda.
And again, it's like those guys. Some of those guys can get away with it also for a short time period because they're so physically genetic and
but honestly, the best of the best, they're eating right. They're not eating crap. No, nobody wants to copy that though. They just want to get the colonic or the mask on their face.
But looking at it, you have people that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their bodies, right, to be able to perform and elongate their career. But they're also making that's an investment that they're making because they're making tenfold or maybe even more of money in contracts coming back at him, right?
Right.
So 100%. But I mean, I don't have a problem. Like instead of doing all this, why don't you go and get a massage then instead, or hire a nutritionist, or hire a trainer, or something like that?
100%. But that's not sexy. That's not sexy. That's not cool. Everybody likes to buy the pill or the thingy that's going to be quick, and
Yeah, because this is how social media works, and also like most people, like no one wants to hear or see about like healthy living.
It's boring. We want the next thing, the next it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cleanse.
We're done. I'm done with this.
So now cleanse, the last one, cleanse.
Okay.
You get people say, hey, I'm drinking celery juice for 2 weeks or whatever, and I guess fasting might be part of that, which actually fasting does have scientific benefit behind it, but that's another story.
Yeah.
We're talking about cleansing, just people just drinking some drink for 2 weeks. Sorry, folks. Again, these medical journals that are very, renowned say that the cleanse is also useless. Now, cleanse is not drinking celery juice and stuff like that or whatever, for a week. That is the worst thing would be maybe just a waste of your time, unlike the colonic that could actually potentially hurt you. The cleanse can't hurt you, but there's no evidence, no scientific evidence that says it is helpful to lose weight or to clean your insides out. Again, God put a pancreas inside your body and a liver inside your body and kidneys inside. Your body's already cleansing itself. So if you want to do anything, stop drinking soda, stop drinking alcohol, stop. If you want to call that a cleanse.
Well, but again, this is funny, and this is usually not what when we're talking about cleanses. Cleanses is just we're just eating, like drinking celery juice. There's also, they usually mention you should avoid alcohol when you're on your cleanse. You should avoid, instead of having this meal, you're having your celery juice and things like that. So the aspect of you're basically doing more things than just drinking that celery juice. And so you are being healthier a little bit for that time frame. But again, you're not really solving the issue. Again, it's maybe I should reduce the amount of.
And then they go back to smoking and drinking,
and stress and
soda
things like that.
and fried foods.
Yes.
It's
and you see, oh no, I lost. People say, oh, it's awesome, I lost 10 pounds the first week or first 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, but
because you're not eating, but that doesn't mean you're cleaning your body out.
And it's and to be honest, did you really lose that weight, or was it something else? It could have been that you're not
well, that's right. The correlation and causation effect. People they don't get that. Right.
So no, I mean, and saying that it detoxifies your liver and things like that. No,
there's no evidence. There's no scientific evidence out there. None.
The easiest way of detoxifying your liver, do you know what that is?
Drink water.
No. Water is one thing, but
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Not drinking alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Not eating the high processed
fried
food, right?
Right.
And so that is how you detoxify.
But that's not sexy. It's not sexy.
Again, I said, and that's the problem. Is things doesn't have to be sexy to work, and that's the same thing. Like habit building and all those things that actually works. And changing things that actually works. it's the same thing. You've seen a lot of like you go on the big company that has a point system that you should follow to lose weight and things like that. They're and they're selling a ton of products. It's like, okay, it's low point this, low point that, and it's just filled with like basically garbage. And a lot of people actually like start having issues with it by eating it. And then like, I'm still not losing weight, and you're eating all this Franken foods.
Right.
It's like, come on, man.
I know, I get it. I mean, so those are the things, right? The cleanse, the colonic, and the vitamin drip. Basically they don't work, folks. Go research for yourself. Again, I researched on Harvard, on Mayo Clinic articles, and Houston Methodist healthcare. They didn't say anything good about these three things.
I wouldn't spend a single dime on these things.
Right.
I wouldn't. And then same thing with all these tummy teas, detox teas, whatever, detox juices. The craziness is that people fall for this, and it's like, okay, this is a juice. You can basically go and buy the fruits and make your own juice for like say $3, and you're buying a bottle for like $15.
Yeah. I agree.
And I'm like, and then the next step is this, like, oh, why don't you hire a coach? No, our coach is so expensive.
Right, but you just dropped whatever, right? On a month's supply of whatever. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it's the same thing. This is not cheap, but again, it's like you are not taking care of the actual source of the problem.
100%.
If you take care of the source of the problem, you will have way more benefits, 100%. And you don't need this.
But everybody wants the quick fix.
Expensive fake stuff. I'm sorry. Like, again, like you said, some people might think that we're basically BSing them and things like that, and then believe in it. Okay, fine. There's actually no proof of it. So,
and again, it's not Magnus's opinion. In my opinion, it's just fact. Okay. The other thing, the fourth thing was pot dispensaries. I hear a lot of my friends who are parents are like freaking out, like, "Oh my God, a pot dispensary is opening up in my neighborhood!" Oh my God. Okay, look, I don't even smoke pot. I never did. I don't do drugs. I've never been buzzed. I've never been drunk in my life. And believe me, there's very few humans on earth that have, can say what I just said. So all that being said, I'm all for these pot dispensaries opening up. Cool, dude, open them up. As a matter of fact, or I'll even go further than that, but we'll start off with that. So the pot dispensaries, in my opinion, I think it's a great opportunity for parents to talk to their kids and make, look, this is not something, that maybe we want to do or you want to do. Maybe some people who have cataracts or terminal illness or, severe, anxiety has been diagnosed by a doctor. Maybe it might help them. But same thing with beer. I've been to more funerals courtesy of beer than pot. I've never been to a pot funeral, but I've been to funerals for beer only. I've lost loved ones to beer only. And so, but again, I don't do any of that. I don't even drink, and I'm all for bars being in business, even though it does unfortunately can kill people. It does kill people. And I'm all for the pot dispensaries. Again, I think it should be used with precaution and respect. It's a health issue. It's not a criminal issue.
So here's the thing: is cannabis legal
in Jersey? Yeah. In Jersey, it is. I don't know about every other state.
And that's the thing, though. Okay, it's legal. It's legal in the states that we're kind of discussing about this, that we're having this conversation about. Okay, so what's the difference between having a cannabis dispensary and a liquor store?
Right, there's none. But because people are so used to liquor being legal, and pot's the new girl in town, so everyone's losing their crap. And I would make the argument that beer is far more dangerous than marijuana. Because, like I said, I've been to funerals, multiple ones for beer only and liquor. I've never been to a pot funeral because someone was high on pot. Again, I don't do any of this stuff, so no sweat off my butt. But I mean, it's just, and I don't want to go too far off here, but I've never done a drug in my life, and I'm all for all drugs being legalized because I think it's a healthcare problem. It's not a criminal problem. If you have a cocaine habit or heroin habit, you need help. You don't need jail. Now, if you're a dealer moving 20 tons of heroin, you probably need to be put in jail. But I mean, most people in jail are there for drug-related issues, and they're not horrible people. And so they need help. They need it's a health issue. It's an addiction issue. And just like beer is. And so if we're going to make pot illegal and coke and heroin, you know what? Go back to prohibition, make beer illegal too, because I've been to more funerals for beer than anything else. So, but no, don't let beer be legal. And I think everything else should be legal. You watch it, you have it, government agencies regulate it, and if you got a problem, you get your help. That's my opinion. But like I said, no sweat off my butt. I don't do any of it. But go ahead, Magnus.
The thing is, I think you're pointing out something that is very important, and this is like if you have kids and you're a parent and you're worried about this, well, it's now. It kind of lands on your shoulders a little bit of actually being a parent.
Right. They're going to have that hard conversation. Right.
And say no, but also like, and this is something that I think like my friend told me about, and also that this is something like in the school system that we had growing up, like when I did during the 80s. So both him and I, we actually had recovering drug users at our school, explaining like, basically talking through what happened with their addiction and things like that. So in the beginning, it's like, well, drugs were great. I had a blast, it was fun, like it was the best thing I ever done. But all of a sudden, that kind of happy structure usually start cracked and fell apart. And then he told like the story of how bad he ended up, like, and this is something that you don't. So basically, he explained to and like, yeah, it was great until it wasn't, and then it destroyed my life, like my family's life, right. my like, actually my surrounding, my neighborhood. Like there's so many things that went bad, and he destroyed so many things.
Right.
And I thought that was an excellent way of warning, but it's also like we had a conversation about, like, my dad was in the restaurant business and nightclub, me growing up. So we had a discussion early on about what alcohol is, what it does to people, what the potential potholes or dangers are, and things like that. So for me, alcohol wasn't really that kind of exciting growing up. Right. And it's not now either, I mean, for each their own, right? But I think having a conversation and an honest conversation about it, like how it works, how people use it, like the bad things and why they use it, and also how bad it usually turns out. That is usually better, because your kids will it's also, kids are testing you, right?
Of course.
If they start asking you about drugs, or what sex.
A lot of the parents don't want to admit that they probably did the drugs. So
and then you freak out and say, oh, we're not gonna have this discussion, or like, oh, if you ever do it, I'm gonna throw you out of this house. What do you think that your kids are gonna say something about, oh, my friends is doing drugs, or I'm like kind of interested in doing it, or I maybe did do it like in college, high school, whatever? No, they're not. And then, so you're basically closing up a very important communication path and trust in between your kids and yourself.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think
it's hard. It's super, super hard if you're coming from a family where like it's taboo and you're used to it. You don't talk about things like that. Time changes. You are not the same as your kids. So you have to be a little bit proactive,
right,
instead of reactive, right?
Yeah, I agree. These pot dispensaries, they're all over New Jersey. They're popping up every other day. What about you? Are they around by you in Cali?
Yeah, I mean, like, again, it's like the West Coast has been
liberal for a while.
Basically, in the first states that basically recreational use was accepted. Right. So and again, there's a lot of money. They're a lot of them are very fancy, right. And stuff like that. So, but it's the same thing. Like, I've been inside of them. I know a lot about the cannabis industry and how it works, and regulations and things like that. And yeah, I mean, again,
I would even say this. Smoking pot, if you have particular type of disease. Let's say you're suffering from cancer or I don't know, other things, tremors or MS. I would, again, I'm no doctor, but I would say
a lot of
marijuana can be a lot less destructive than taking some of these prescription drugs. Some of these prescription drugs are like drinking like nuclear waste.
opioids.
Even worse. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So the thing is, again, cannabis is a personal choice. It's the same thing with alcohol and things like that. I think that it comes down to the individual. I mean, I understand that people might be worried, and especially the same thing. Like war on drugs, have they all been bombarded about how bad things are, and we're going to hell and everything. It could beneficial for some. It could be very dangerous and damage for other, like especially if you have an addiction in
of course.
like your
but again that can happen from beer that.
Yeah, so but yeah, definitely. I mean, cannabis is not usually making you aggressive,
right? It's not going to make you rob a bank or something. You get the munchies at most, right?
Yeah. No, but I mean, right now they're everywhere, and they're in our surroundings, and I think it's you need to be the adult and be able to talk about it and have a conversation. Again, most kids are smarter than you think, and they Google things, they read about it, they hear it from their friends, they hear it from their older siblings or their friends' older siblings. Listen, and things like that. So I think that you should, as a parent, it's better that you have a conversation about it, and
even if it's awkward,
and open up that kind of like worm about, like, it's the same thing about, like, we're talking about sex, alcohol, like religion, politics, whatever. Like, it's better that the kids are actually coming to you and asking about these things, and that they hear it from like
parent that loves
Bob on the corner, or someone that doesn't have a single clue of what they're talking about. At least it can have a positive effect on it, like them having a better understanding.
Yeah, so, I agree. Yeah, no, man, awesome, dude. Yeah, no, so again, viewers, tell us what you think. Give us your feedback on what you think or like or don't like. I mean, I'm all for these pot dispensaries. Let them open up everywhere. I don't care, because it's just a conversation that you need to have and make choices. But yeah, man,
I'm pretty neutral to them. It's like, I'm like, what hell? Like, I'm not positive, not negative.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, it's fine. Again, I'm not really in that world. I'm not too interested about drugs in that way. So
yep. Cool.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that other people do. So
yeah, I don't knock anybody. Hey, look, if you're smoking pot, cool, you do you. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like someone drinking beer every day. I'm not going to get into a car with you, but if you're that heavy of a drinker. But that's how I see it too. It's just like, and again, it does help. I get it. People who do have a lot of issues, health issues, it might be a better choice than taking prescription drugs. Oftentimes.
Can I add something here?
Yeah.
As someone that's from Europe or things like that, and now we also have, like, there's a case going on in Russia. But remember, if you go to another country, or if you go to another state where it's not legal, it's illegal.
Right.
You can end up in jail. You have to face the circumstances that you're breaking the law.
Right.
So don't travel with it. Be smart about it. Look at local, like, even if so. Here's the thing also that needs to be understood. Like, when it comes to the federal law, you can take it from you. Like, it could be legal in one state, and you go into another legal state. That is illegal because you're traveling between state borders, and it's a federal crime.
Yeah, it's very murky.
Yeah, so you have to be a little bit smarter and understand the laws and the rules, so you don't get caught in these issues. The thing is, cannabis is still like, legalization is very young. They're still trying to figure out a lot of
legal stuff,
laws, process, how it works, and how it like moves forward as a country in federal rules.
Yep.
So be cautious and be smart. Do your research, and don't be one of these like media phenomenons that you get pointed out as a case and get. And it goes to trial and things like that. Don't be that person. You don't have to.
Yeah, for sure. No, where exactly. Know where you're going on your summer vacation. Yeah, because we don't want nobody should be locked up for some possession of pot. That's sad, and it's happening all over, especially in Russia. That story with that athlete is it's. I hope she comes home safe, and I'm not even a fan of hers, but I hope she comes home safe.
I mean, it's the same thing. I'm more worried about her family and the stress and things
yeah,
like that.
it's she's not. I'm sure she's not a bad person.
No, it's a sad case, but it's also like I don't want to call the person like stupid, but like how misinformed people are, and that they think that you can get away with a lot of things.
Yeah, well, maybe like a lot of famous people, she probably thought the rules don't apply to her.
Yeah, no, and you have to, like yeah, accidents happens too, but don't make accidents happen. Be on top of the game.
Actually, that, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be doing time for something that's really you shouldn't. Anyway, so all right, so that is it, Magnus. I'm in my studio, back in my studio where it's boiling hot again, but it's not as bad as last week where I had a shift. But anyways, so that's that. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We got more shows coming up. Speaking of hot, I'm interviewing I think this Saturday someone who left New Jersey to move to Dubai. And
wow.
Yeah, talking about hot.
That's interesting. Like seeing when people moving around, I've done a similar trip, but I moved from Europe coming here.
Yeah,
so I think Dubai and Jersey is very different from like socially and norms and things like that. Yeah. So I think people could it's going
to be great because she's a very positive person, and she's a calculated risk taker. So she's someone that in many ways she's inspired me in my own life, but watching her kind of take these leaps and do these big things and a big move like that. I mean, she didn't move to Florida. She moved to Dubai, and she's not from Dubai. She's an American, born here, raised here, has no family there, nothing. I mean, just like, whoa, so anyways, okay. So tune in for that. That's coming up. And Magnus, thank you as always, my friend. Give my best to the doggies.
I will. They're doing good. Everybody's happy. We had we celebrated Archie's birthday a month late, but we had a Star Wars themed party for him. And they had their own Ben and Jerry ice cream.
Oh my God!
It was hilarious. They had a blast. And actually, Archie's my youngest dog. His biological sister was here, so which was really, really cool to see.
Family reunion.
They're different, but they similar. So that was just funny to see them interact.
Dogs are the best. If you really want to feel better about yourself, forget about a colonic. Get a dog. It'll make you feel better.
Forget about cannabis. Get a dog.
Right. You get a dog, you'll feel better. All right, that's it. I'm